So yesterday we sent a rest in peace to John Amos, who passed away. And following that, there has been, and even before that, honestly, there was some family drama surrounding him and the care of him. But there has been some new developments on that side of things. So once reports broke, which actually happened on Tuesday when his son announced the fact that he had passed away, John Amos's daughter, her name is Shannon, came out and let the world know that, you know, yes, she is in grieving and she is in mourning, but she didn't know her dad had even passed away. She found out through the media like we did. She said, "I am without words. Our family has received the heartbreaking news that my dad, John Amos Jr., transitioned on August 21st. We are devastated and left with many questions about how this happened 45 days ago, learning about it through the media like so many of you. This should be a time of honoring and celebrating his life, yet we are struggling to navigate the wave of emotions and uncertainties surrounding his passing. Still, there is some semblance of peace in knowing my father is finally free. My family and I deeply appreciate the outpouring of love. Cause text. Please continue to hold our family in your thoughts and prayers." So from this statement, it was very evident that something was going on, right? Like he had passed away 45 days ago, and she's just now finding out this week. So
that's crazy.
Right. So from there, TMZ obtained the death certificate of John Amos, which again pointed to exactly what she was saying. So the death certificate said that he had died of congestive heart failure and that he was cremated more than a month ago. To Shannon's point, the family found out way after he had died and been cremated.
Who cremated him?
So I'm going to get to that. So the date of death is listed as August 21st at Inglewood Hospital. Now his son KC is listed as the informant. So that means KC informed the county of his dad's death. So I'm assuming that KC is the person who set up the cremation, because it also lists here where like the ashes are, like where they were released to. And it's listed as KC's home. So, and KC is his son, who was in care of John at the time. And it also lists that there was no autopsy done. So another family friend, or I'm sorry, not a family friend, but John Amos's goddaughter released a statement following the cremation conversation and a bunch of different conversations that were happening. Her name is Amy. She released this on Facebook, and she says, "We do not," so at the time they didn't have the death certificate themselves. "We do not have a death certificate, nor do we know where or why he died," because they didn't have the death certificate, "but we know he was suffering from congestive heart failure and dementia. We fear he was likely cremated to avoid any potential investigation into conditions surrounding his final days. Over the past year, John Amos was isolated from his family and close friends by Kelly Casey Amos," that's his son. And this is all alleged, y'all. This is alleged by Amy, John Amos's goddaughter. She named Belinda Foster, who is a listed publicist for John Amos, as well as one of the people that was isolating him from family, allegedly. And then she goes on to say, "Casey portrayed an image of a close father-son relationship on social media, but the reality was far more complex. Our father suffered from dementia, and Casey often gave John verbal prompts to create a narrative on social media that were not effective or reflective of the truth. We are deeply concerned that our father may have been neglected and isolated during his final days, as we received photos from concerned neighbors and medical professionals. The situation mirrors Shannon and Casey's mother's passing. They suspect that these actions, and I'm assuming they're talking about the way that he was isolated from the family, according to them, have been taken to alter potential wills and collect life insurance or other benefits. This made even more concerning by Casey's struggles with addiction and mental health issues, as well as his previous arrests." She says, "We refuse to rule out the possibility of foul play, especially given the involvement of two individuals, a person named Eugene Brummer and Belinda Foster." Now, this is all alleged by Amy, who is the goddaughter of John Amos. Now, I told you guys, this drama has been going on for some time. It's over a year at this point between the family. We actually have audio of John Amos when he was first in the hospital about a year ago, when his daughter Shannon spoke out and said, "My dad is suffering from elder abuse. Something's wrong." So he released this video. Let's take a listen.
"I'm an 83-year-old man, and I have 2 children. My son is here with me in the hospital in Memphis, and I'm not in the hospital as a result of anything that happened recently, other than the fact that about a month ago I was hospitalized because I was suffering from water retention. My main issues are that I feel that I was, prior to entering the hospital, I had some ongoing issues with my daughter, who I feel has taken advantage of me, and she would be the primary suspect, if you would. I don't know if that's the right term to use or not, but she's the one that I would attribute my elderly abuse to."
Now, after this video...
That was John Amos.
Yes, that was John Amos about a year ago, after the daughter Shane, the daughter Shannon, had first claimed that there was elder abuse, exploitation, and a bunch of other things happening on behalf of her brother. I will say, though, authorities about a year ago came in, investigated this, and ruled that that was not happening. And there has been no official statement from authorities. I have reached out to the woman, Belinda Foster, who's listed as a publicist for John Amos, and I've also reached out to his son, Casey, but I have no word back as of yet. So I don't really know for sure what is happening, but everything about this screams that there is just, some disconnect in the family, as there has been.
Oh, absolutely. So. You didn't speak to, you say your dad or your godfather in 45 days, there's definitely some disconnect. But I will say this, when people have dementia, right, a lot of times they don't understand what they're saying, and everything that happens in the world they think happens to them. So the fact that he said that he was getting elderly abused or they were stealing from him, that doesn't necessarily have to be true. That could just be in his mind.
He had dementia?
That's what she said.
So that's what the daughter is claiming that he suffered, and the goddaughter is claiming that he suffered from dementia, congestive heart failure. Yeah, congestive heart failure and dementia is what the family on one side is saying that he was dealing with. When he was hospitalized during that time when that video released, it was something about like fluid in parts of his body. They did mention the heart failure as well too.
First things first, man.
It's a lot.
Rest in peace, John Amos, sending healing energy to the family. And all I'm going to say is messy, messy, messy. And it's none of my business, even if they're trying to make it our business. I do wonder how families dealt with these things before social media. Like when they give us all that information, what do they expect to happen? What do they want us to do? Are they just venting? Are they crying out for help? Are they just trying to embarrass each other?
Crying out for help. They want an investigation, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think
see
Shannon
exactly
is
what
trying
happened.
to like get the people going. The last time Shannon did this, she had started a GoFundMe to raise money to like look into it, get investigators to look into it and all that stuff. So there's
Call
no
investigators.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But it's more than just calling investigators
because
because he's already cremated. So they got to get somebody back to open up that case to see exactly what happened.
But
go
I'm saying,
through those records.
But all I'm saying is spend that time and energy talking to those people.
I understand
Like,
it.
why are you talking to social media?
It's just sad. It's so sad to see, especially in death when you're at the same time they're all mourning the loss of John Amos. You know what I mean? So yeah, well, I mean, I hope that they figure it out.
And it makes the grieving process harder. Like,
100%.
Like nobody want to hear all that when they grieving.
You know.
But the sad thing about it, and I don't know if this is the exact thing, but when somebody passes away, everybody always looks into finances too to see where that will is, who gets this, who gets that, where does this go, where does that go, and that's a part of it as well, I'm sure.
Well, we'll stay locked to figure out what's happening. Hopefully I can hear back from somebody because I did reach out and I can provide some more insight on something.
All right. Well, that is Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa. Now, when we come back, we got front page news, and then Yolanda Adams will be joining us. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.